Welcome to Cam Look, your daily dose of the Cincinnati Art Museum. Each weekday at 10 a.m., staff or volunteers from the Cam will highlight an artwork from the museum, so check this page every weekday at 10 a.m. for more. My name's Andrew. I'm the Associate Director of Docent Learning. I'm kicking off a 4-part series that will take a closer look at some photographs by unidentified artists, which means we don't know who took them, the exact year they were taken, or what kind of camera was used. When I was in college, I used to buy random photos at flea markets, many that were decades old, and several of these photos are similar. So today I'll start with one that's easily one of my favorites in the collection. This is a grayscale photograph called A Man with Two Women Posed with Person in Bear Suit in Winter. We think it was made in the mid-20th century. It was given as a gift to the museum by Peter J. Cohen in 2015. It's a horizontal photograph with thin white margins on each side and rounded corners, measuring at 3.5 by 5.5 inches. There are 4 figures in the foreground facing the camera. On the left is a tall, thin white man with dark hair combed back. He's wearing a ribbed scarf underneath a dark wool, double-breasted pea coat, and all 3 buttons are fastened. He's holding a leather briefcase in his right hand and has a shiny ring on one of his left fingers. Next to him, holding his left arm, is a white woman with dark hair tied back and dark-framed eyeglasses. She's also wearing a light-colored scarf underneath a double-breasted wool pea coat, but hers appears to be a lighter gray or a salt and pepper kind of look, and she's wearing light-colored gloves. Her gaze is toward the ground instead of the camera, and her head is tilted toward her left with her right hand in her right pocket. To her left, holding her left arm, is a person wearing a white, furry bear suit. The suit is in 2 parts, one for the head and the other for the body. The bear's mouth is open, almost like it's smiling. There's a dark stripe down the middle of the suit, but everything else about the suit is furry and white. To their left is a white woman with coiffed hair, a dark-colored hat, a light-colored scarf, and leopard print fur coat. She's clasping her hands at her waist, her right hand on top of her left hand, and she's carrying a small purse dangling from her left forearm with a front clasp. In the background, there's a light-colored rectangular building with tall windows and columns along the right side of the photograph. There's snow along the left leading up to the railing of the building, a tree without leaves behind the person in the bear suit, and some people in dark coats walking on the brick road behind the people posing for the photograph. I described it for those of you who can't see it, but I also did that to show you what all we do know, even if we will probably never know the identity of this artist or the reason for this photograph. But because of those unknowns, we can think about what's in front of us with some imagination and wonder. Personally, I laugh out loud every time I see this photograph because I love the idea that a person in a bear suit was taking photos with such well-dressed people, and that the bear looks so happy, but the other 3 people seem like they don't want to be there. Based on the inscription of the back of the photograph, I think this was taken in a borough of Berlin called Zellendorf, but I don't read German well enough to know what the whole inscription means. Otherwise, all I'm left with is the photograph itself, which is charming and interesting all by itself. I think we're fortunate to have background information and concrete facts to go along with many of our artworks, but there are plenty that are mysteries like this one. I'd like to believe that they're mysteries for a reason, inviting us to see something new and unusual and finding joy in that. I hope you see it that way too.